today's sponsor is Cinnabon. No, I'm just kidding. You read the title right. The recap of Ready to Love Dallas. And I'm pumped. Guys, if you're new here, I am Kira Ford, your real estate cheerleader. I help you take ownership of where you live and how you live. And I have recently been on a reality TV show, a dating show at that. And yeah, it's been very interesting. I'm very happy that it is over with. So part one of the Ready to Love Dallas reunion was coming with the pow, pow, pow. We had Habibi acting like he cared that he hurt Janelle's feelings, and then he did his little solo on his saxophone. I'm just like, oh, I love Habibi. Made me laugh. I'm sitting there like, Jesus, Lord, just help him. I love Habibi. I think that he is very much himself. Now, am I saying what he does and how he acts is always the best? I do think that he has some growing to do, which I think everyone on this cast has some growing to do in some areas. But Habibi just don't care, baby. He just don't care. I had a lot of fun backstage, saying my comments and all the things. Tequila on part one, she ripped Phil a new asshole, it felt like. Janelle, it felt like the Janelle show because Janelle was on every single couch for every segment because she played a big part in the cast. I mean, she got a lot of playing time. Look at me sounding like a football player. She got a lot of camera time. Congrats to her. As much as I don't like how our interactions were, I will say this. I wish her well because everyone is going through something that's on this cast. Some mental issues. Me, I have PTSD now. I'm dating and I'm like, Jesus. Oh, by the way, guys, new hair, new me. When it is fall, I like to wear my real hair because I don't sweat it out. So I am loving it, man. Okay, anyways, back to the reunion review. What else happened on part one? Red and Unique talking about the thought job. We kind of got nowhere with that. They did say a little bit about Red's kids, but we never got clarity on that. Then of course Red was talking about his thought job t-shirts, so that happened. First off, if you didn't watch it, guys, go back and watch it, stream it. It was good, and I think Red had a lot of great moments on part one because he did a lot of backstage talking, laughing. I love Kat. Kat was super great. I feel like Kat is very direct. She's confident. She's beautiful. She's cool people. I love how she was like, if I was here, I'd have all of y'all. I was like, okay, sis, I see you. I wish you were here the whole time because I didn't need to be here. And then Marie and Jessica, they talked about their non-relationship, but they're working on a relationship. Let's be honest, the people who made it to the end, I feel like had an alliance, and that's just my opinion, and I'm gonna stand on it. So, yeah. But if they do like each other and it just did not come off to the cameras or to me in person, then, God, please forgive me. But they talked on stage about their relationship and their journey. And that was part one. Now, part two is when I came on and I was talking to Marie and Quinn and Janelle. They were all on there. Even Herbert, even though it was funny, because Herbert was sitting beside me on my segment. And then he went on to the blogs. One of the bloggers was like, oh yeah, I didn't really kick it with you like that. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. Well, then I'm so confused why you're on the couch because you were one of the connections. But sometimes maybe the feeling wasn't mutual, which it didn't hurt my feelings because, to be honest with you, I honestly did not vibe with anybody. I think everyone was cool. If I saw anybody in the streets, I think I would still speak. I'd be like, hey, how are you? Because I think I'm mature enough to speak to everyone. Doesn't mean that they're my cup of tea, or what I like to say is my flute of champagne. And so because I usually like to just talk about myself on the reviews, but since the reunion is everyone, I am kind of touching on everybody. But when it came to me, I will say I'm glad that they showed that the whole not black enough really did bother me, because it did. I had tears about it. They showed me crying. I also had tears about it off camera because of having to low-key explain my blackness, and everyone's like, well, we're not questioning your blackness, we're questioning you saying that you were the closest thing to white girl. First off, if you don't understand what I was saying, how about you ask for clarity? Because that's what people do when we're grown. We ask for, okay, so what did you mean? What I meant is my personality. Every time I talk to somebody, And they're like, man, you're so bubbly. Man, you're just like full of life. Like you are just so peppy. Not saying that Black women don't exhort that or like show that all the time, but that is more of a white girl trait, as society says. I didn't create this, somebody else did. And so when I said that on the show, I even said like, I'm the closest thing to a white girl here, personality wise. Like I grew up on like one or two Black girls on a cheer squad or a dance squad or a basketball team. Like I am used to being like one, or me and one other Black person being the only colored folks on there. So I do think that you kind of are like a product of your environment. So I still don't understand why people like to comment on my page about, oh, you thought that you were like you have Black identity issues, or you have identity issues because you think that you're white. And I'm like, I never said once. So it kind of bothered me, but I'm glad that I got to like speak about my truth. The only thing I was disappointed in was Tommy. Tommy didn't ask Janelle. Basically, he asked everyone else what was their issue, but didn't ask the main issue person what was their issue. And so that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I also felt like my segment was like me going back and forth, like talking about my, like the whole Black experience. Like I don't feel like they showed like what's next for me. And what's next for me is, I believe God is positioning me to either host a show, be on another show that is like more like a challenge, a game challenging show, nothing dating wise. Like I have never, ever in my life wanted to be so private with my personal life until now. And so now I know the importance of keeping your private life private. So you guys won't know who I'm dating, which I will keep giving you guys updates because I do think that that is something that is fun about my channel. I do give you life updates about myself because people really like that. Y'all are nosy. But I'm really gonna be low key when it comes to like the guys that, yeah, right now it's guys. I have a roster. But the guys that I'm dating, and then once it becomes really serious with one person and like I'm in a very committed relationship and I'm gonna get married, then I'll be more than happy to like show my ring once I get engaged. But yeah, you guys can keep the dating shows. I am so good on those. Also in part 2, I like the fact that Lee got to speak out on like what her experience was. I don't like the fact that Quentin was trying to act like he wasn't comfortable when he clearly said he was uncomfortable. But Quentin was lying. Like he acted like he was so offended by me asking him about liking white women. Like, boy, get on. Like I'm almost positive more than just me has ever asked you that. And for you to act, ooh duh, is just hilarious. Get on with yourself. Anywho, so I was happy that Lee like stood on her ground, like, okay, like if that's how you feel, Quentin, you don't have to speak up. Maybe you're in a sunken place and you just like, you're afraid of Janelle. I don't know. And then I don't like the fact that Janelle was like kind of disrespecting Lee when it was like, okay, we can have a like easy civil conversation without raising our voices. We are both grown. Like, let's just communicate on a like woman to woman basis. Who else talked? I love that Kat got Jessica together. She got Janelle together. I like the fact that she stood on her ground. And like, one thing about me is like, I just don't have time for the riffraff. I'm not gonna sit here and go back and forth with you. I just don't have it in me. I don't. Also, I grew up with like 2 brothers. Like both of my older brothers, one is 38, the other one is 32. They're both married. They have children. Like growing up, like I just don't do drama, y'all. Y'all see that I'm almost done eating these cinnamon rolls. But I just don't do drama. And so when women want to go back and forth, I'm just like, I just don't have it in me. And I also am not going to be here being rude to someone in like premeditatedly. Like I'm not going to intentionally try to hurt someone's feelings. I admire her for doing it in a very tasteful way. I just don't think that I could have done it in a tasteful way, because like when people take me there, they take me there. And I tell people all the time, just as nice as I am is just as mean as I can get. And so I just didn't think that you guys needed to see that side of me, because it wasn't that serious. This was a dating show. This was not like Bad Girls Club. So with that being said, I really think that my biggest lessons, who else talked? They didn't show Herbert's story, they didn't show Leanne's story, and they didn't show Brandon's, which kind of sucked. I kind of felt bad for them because like they were there. I mean, we started at what, 10? I didn't go on camera until like 11 p.m. And what kind of got on my nerves too is like if you guys saw me, I looked very like oily. Like I'm like, where were the makeup artists? Why didn't they tell me? The makeup artist like touched up my lipstick, because if you look backstage, I barely had any lip gloss on. Like they put lip gloss on me as I went on. And so when I went on, I'm over here looking like a cakey, I don't know, I was just a little disappointed in how they made me look, but it is what it is. The biggest lesson that I will say that I got out of the show was to, of course, continue to be open, and to stay true to who I am. I might not be everyone's cup of tea or flute of champagne. That's okay. And I just don't think my person was on here, but I do think that I'm one step closer to being found by my husband. And like I said, I want to be found. I don't want to go finding him. And so I prayed about it. I've asked God, to continue to position me and prepare me to be the wife for my husband. And so whenever he shows up, I'll be very ecstatic and happy to share that with you guys. But as of right now, I'm really focusing on, of course, strengthening my relationship with the Lord, my health, which is mental health, and physically I need to slim up after seeing myself. The way I laugh, like, y'all, I laugh like that, and like, I look like I have a gobble. No. So I'm like, I'm focusing on like just getting more healthy, make sure I'm putting the right things in my body. I'm also focusing on work. I mean, like, filming and the show, it takes a toll on you because you had to live it, and then you have to relive it when you watch the edits that they do. And so when you guys see it for the first time is when we see it for the first time. So we just really don't know. And it does kind of like mess with your nervous system and your anxiety, and like everything is up. And so I'm so ecstatic that it is over with. And right now I'm just like, let me get back to work. Let me get back to my bag and like really focus, because I want to end the fourth quarter super strong and start the first quarter even stronger. So I'm pumped. And of course, my goal is always to help people who are looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, and help them take ownership of where they live and how they live. So if you are living in the Dallas area or anywhere in the world, I'm able to refer you to an agent or help you here in Dallas. I would love to do so. So I'm curious. Comment down below something that you learned this season from, one of my castmates or myself, or like comment down something that you really enjoyed about the show. I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, this was the worst season ever. There was no connections. I don't think this season the producers picked people that actually were compatible. I feel like they picked people who they felt like could bring in ratings, which, I can't fault them for that, because at the end of the day, they had to do a job, and their job is to get ratings up and keep them up. And so kudos to them, and I wish them the best.